Right. Hello, chat. Hello. For a first, you'll see I'm not actually over here. That is because there is currently a heatwave going on in Britain, and frankly, I don't want to turn my camera on during it. So we're going to be doing this without a camera for today. I hope you all don't mind. There will only be footage. I need to quickly just get... I need to quickly just get the Twitch chat up and YouTube chat up because I forgot to get that up again. It's going to take me a bit to remember to do that, but here we are. That'll join soon. I feel like something is missing. Yeah, ever so slightly. Hello, Capitan. Welcome. Right, let's just get into it. No, wait. For this one, we should go about it like No, Heathcliff's been in the Vanguard for too long. I should pull him back and let him... Dante. Huh? Oh, sorry, did you say something? I've heard you and answer your question, but you exhibited no observable response. Is the Sinner's combat performance deteriorating beyond manageable parameters? No, things aren't that bad, but it's just hard to focus on one conversation when I'm trying to spot battles happening in completely different places at once. On top of that, Rhodio's shopping chatter is starting to get a little distracting. A few days after we entered Encorp's district, the bus pulled over in the back streets of Encorp to take care of a distortion case. This contract was supposed to be handled jointly with the LCD team, but distortion suddenly started cropping up all over an area of the back streets called Butter Street, without any coherent pattern. No obvious point of origin or route of spread, nothing convenient like that, and I had no choice but to split the sinners into several groups and send them out. Coops, you forgot Twitch? No? Oh. Ah, shit, we're not beating Bina's realization. Let me just quickly edit that. Limbus Company. Okay. Fixed it. Okay. Let me just, hold on. Yeah. That's fixed. Look at that. I did it, chat. I'm a professional streamer. No Twitch? Yes, there are Twitch. I forgot to put Twitch on. My mistake. It's been a while. I'm out of habit. Anyway, Otis, Ishmael, Sinclair, Don Quixote, Yiseng, and Maso were on their way to rendezvous with the LCD team. Heathcliff, Gregor, and Hong Lu were suppressing distortions that have shown up from other directions. And with their onboard stock scraped down to the bottom, Rhodio and Ryoshu, who were done with their share of the suppression work, were put in charge of buying supplies for the bus. As for Faust, she decided to stay behind with me on the bus. I wanted to get through the consultation sessions I've been putting off, and thought I might as well get myself some much-needed practice with handling the new golden bow power I'd acquired. To reiterate, there are no issues requiring special concern regarding Faust. It is true that Faust has, on several recent occasions, expressed dissatisfaction with a certain Faust. However, those instances should be classified as a mere personal grievance. I mean, that's good if there are all those to it, but this was not the first time that Faust had seemed unlike herself. There have been times before when she spent far longer than usual, alone than usual, lost in her thought. Moments when she could not produce the immediate answers to questions from the other sinners for me. Could it be you can access the Gesellschaft? May I ask for your basis for that inference? Because you're acting a lot like you did back on the warp train. It appears there remains occasions on which you're still capable of surprising Faust, Dante. So I was right, you really are cut off from the Gesellschaft? That was not intended as confirmation of your conjecture. Maybe she's saying that while she can technically access the Gesellschaft, it may as well be that she can't. I was going to ask more and get to the bottom of it, but the way she was sidestepping the subject told me that prying wouldn't give me any further insight. Right, I won't press you about it if you don't want to talk about it. Your reserve is appreciated. Shall we move on? Yes, your consultation is in the next agenda. After cross-referencing the records pertaining to the recent events in the House of Spiders, it would appear that memories concerning the intervals designated as Sora and Ren currently remain only with you, Dante. As such, should the influence of Roshan assured lead to further omissions in the official records, the manager will be responsible for supplementing the necessary information. Yeah, not the first time I was the only one left with intact memories, huh? That's right. Despite K-Corp's memory wipe procedure, Catherine's erasure by the Golden Bow's power, and Arashiki severing people from existence, I was the only one who remembered what had transpired. But ironically enough, the memories I had prior to swapping my head with this cloak still showed no sign of returning. Why won't my old memories come back, though? Is it because of this clockhead? Speculation based on your experience with the past team thus far will not meaningfully contribute to the recovery of your former memories, manager. Inductive reasoning conducted from memories with gaps, after all, is bound to have structural limitations. Bongy would serve as an adequate analogy. Bongy? Yes, Bongy. Receiving feed and increasing in body mass alone would provide it with no meaningful basis for identifying the purpose of its rearing. Even at the terminal stage, when exposed to kitchen instruments and the heat of the stove, its limited experience would prove inadequate to constitute an understanding of its ultimate fate and purpose. Likewise, the ultimate answer to your doubts can only be obtained from the whole of the experience you have accumulated at the terminus of your entire journey. That is, your allotted mission. Faust is moused, so true. Because treasure awaits the end of the road, at the end of hell, and that treasure will give me my memories in my head, also. Indeed, at the end of the road you'll be able to engrave your aspect. I still have no idea what aspect means, or even whether it's an object, but if I know one thing, it's that the me from all this began had wanted it badly, obsessively, desperately. It's more like an instinctive knowledge. But with my memories gone, that feeling, however strong it is, does not change the fact that it's just another world with no discernible mental image. And you're not going to tell me what it actually is, are you? The aspect. What it means, or why I wanted it so much. If it remains a piece of information that must be disclosed to you, then no. I am unable to tell you. Pay it no mind. You're still following Asara acceptably. Please concentrate on the journey. More importantly, have you grown accustomed to that incomplete power? Current observation suggests you have yet to arrive at that level. Well, I've gotten pretty used to focusing on one place at a time, but keeping track of several places at once is still a bit rough. Otis's team is doing well in combat even without my direct supervision. Roji's team is shopping and not engaged in battle at the moment. Taking my mind off them would prove much easier. But that wouldn't give me the much needed practice, so I'm doing my best to keep an eye on every sinner's status. Sufficient familiarity should result in substantial tactical value. You would be able to cast a wider net when information gathering and employ previously unavailable tactical patterns. Right. And I'd also be able to tell when it's a bad time to call someone in, too. Even as I continue talking with Faust, I make sure not to stop observing the places where each group is and what they're doing. Yep, pulling Heathcliff to the rear was the right call. I didn't see any injuries. His team's still doing pretty well even without my directions. As for Rhodia, wait, did she just stuff all of the pastries in bed she brought into her pockets? How did she manage that with a huge baguette? I noticed a group. Let's see. Ah, looks like they joined up with the LCD team without any issues. LCD, that guy must over there be... Hang on. Faust, there's a dude I've seen before, but he seems a bit, different from what I remember. Bamboo had a Kim. Could you specify the issue? I'm monitoring the situation right now. We should probably join up with them too. Let's end the consultation here. This is rather precipitous, Dante. If the incident is of a serious nature, perhaps a request for support from the LCC. No, it's not an incident. Though I wouldn't say it's not serious. Bamboo hatted Kim. I love this Intervallo even better than the previous 9.5? Huh, interesting. Right, just quickly. Now that there's more people here, it's time to gamble! Yippee! I've not, I don't think gambling yet. So, I have 3 10 pulls in ticket form, and that's all we're getting. So, can I get more slaughter material? On the first one, it is an absolute no. Damn. What about the second? Drumroll, please, chat. These are the worst pulls I've ever gotten. These are the worst pulls I have ever gotten. Right. One more ticket. Uh-huh. Okay, fuck you too, Rhodia. Sure, fine. Back to the Intervallo. How much for you to get another 50 pulls? I don't have enough. I would have to buy the 50 pulls, and that's like an entire thing that I'd have to do. Like, I don't know. I don't know how much 50 pulls are. If I had 50 pulls, I would do it for less, but... Intervallo rewards? That is true. Okay, you know what? That's right. It's 2 more 10 pulls, chat. 2 more 10 pulls. I mean, it probably would have been better to save up for, like, the other thing, but nah, fuck it. This is fine. Oh, that's not a good sign, because if there's gold already there, it means it's not the triple O from the... This is the wrong banner! You're not supposed to be here! This isn't your banner! Go away! Do I even have the required thing for you? No, I don't even have bamboo-hatted Kim. Like... God damn it. Ten out of 10 ego there? Yeah, but I don't have the person to use him. I swear to God, if this is bamboo-hatted Kim, I'm gonna lose my mind. Okay. Oh, hello there. I wasn't expecting it to be gold already. Normally it's supposed to go gold. Right, well... Yeah, hello there. I see. Well, that's... Why? Oh, no, I thought that was a sign that I already had it somehow, but, okay. Great, well, I have the person I cared about from it. Finally, my team grows ever stronger. All of the you can tell which ones I actually use, because they're the only ones that are leveled. The sacrifices do not get leveled. But yeah, right. Well, back to the experience. Not mirror dungeon. We're not doing a mirror dungeon. No, we are playing the event. Here we are. Rendezvous. What purchase bulls? Thank you, Jinx. Thank you very much. It's greatly appreciated.
J1NX3 added $20 to the Lunacy Fund for wall pipey pulls.
I will put that to good use when Walpar just rolls around. Hello, Inquisitor. Hello. MD stream 1. I could do an MD stream, but does anybody actually want to watch me do an MD? Let's up Tyrodia so we have slurs on stream. No. Sigh, this is going from bad to worse. Sigh. Why did I say sigh? Bad for worse, really. Dente seems to be tied up helping the other groups. Otis' command calls have been working out well enough. I'll give her that. We managed to hold the line better than expected. We're definitely starting to feel the strain. Why are you waving hand over arm and hand signals? Huh, what signals? What's between that? Sideways even supposed to mean? You don't know? It's scatter, damn it, so scatter! Crash. That was close, we almost got flattened. Damn it, even rookies with nothing but this rudimentary of military training would recognize a hand signal that basic. Well, we're not all trained soldiers here, are we? Verily, the flourish of a single hand doth indeed make boast of a chivalric elegance. Yet when thou suddenly wavest thine arm about, clenching and unclenching thy hand in that mystical fashion, only suddenly turned tail, forsooth I am left bereft of understanding what thou meanest to say. To think that of all the personnel on the team, only the swabby has the discipline to interpret a basic field signal. I only picked it up during my sailing days, and realistically speaking, did you really expect ordinary people like the others to understand professional military signals? This is unacceptable. After all the operations all of you have been deployed under my lead, you're still ignorant when it comes to non-verbal signals. I don't think even Dante would know those signals. Yep, might as well be splitting hairs, literally. What? Not literally. Let us appease our agitated hearts and follow Miss Hostess's instructions. We should disperse and withdraw. Megaton landing! Slam. Hey, pretty cool, huh? Let's face it, I know how to make one heck of an entrance. Whoa, aren't you supposed to be clearing up distortions upstairs? Oh, finito a million years ago. You guys are taking forever, so I figured I'd take a peek and lend a hand. You're welcome. Split by your thundering descent, the floor's form and shape are now crushed beyond mending, sunken deep enough to be likened to the insipidance of a wellspring. Why is everybody talking with so many large words already? More interesting to watch you yap during it? Interesting. I mean, I could do an MD stream then. I could do an MD stream. Don't you worry your head about it. That's all left to teams to take care of. Anyway, that should be all of them, right? The force of your landing neutralized the last distortions outside of the building. Great. Can you check on the disordered peeps' face and clothes? Their faces are all segmented. Makes my skin crawl, not a pleasant sight. As for attire, this one appeareth to be a sweeper, and that one yonder bears the attire of ordinary fixer. And this distortion I land on, probably a local resident, judging by the clothes. How the fuck did a sweeper distort? Did any of you happen to see anything nearby bursting with a big pop and flash? Nay, not once. Okie dokie. You know what? Then let's all head upstairs. The suppression requests a kind of a pain. We need to put together a nice, neat plan before we start poking it too hard. A plan, sayest thou? How? Was this not a mere matter of slaying distortions where they stand? Huh? Wait, did nobody brief you? This has often been the structure of our assignments. We're given instructions, we perform them, and only afterward do we begin to perceive the nature and contour of the task to which we've committed our hands. Really? Well, I guess every department has their own way of doing things. No big deal. I'll explain everything once we're upstairs. supers and normal humans? Yeah, in part, yeah, I suppose. Oh, by the way, you didn't get to meet the whole team last time, did you? Only and you go. This time, that dude, I mean, Mr. Bamboo Head Kim's also here, so... Huh? He's okay now? Sure is. You'll be surprised when you see just how okay he is now. The last time he said he was still under treatment. To be precise, I believe Miss Angdu said his mind is yet to regain its former tranquility. Ah, that? You'll get it once you see him. I feel like we'll just end up having the same conversation twice if I say anything about it now. Ah, you've arrived. Oh, it's blinding. It's so bright the midday sun is pouring in like crazy. Yet the warm trickle of the sunbeam is rather agreeable. No, this is not sunlight. Because, unlike this, there is more to the sunshine than its warmth. Okay, so he's saying it here because the other time he said it got deleted from existence. And what exactly is this light? Why is this thing on again? It's bright enough to fry my eyeballs. Apologies, Lady Ezra. I'm yet to be accustomed to this machine. This is my first time laying a hand upon the complicated working of such a contraction. It activated its own accord, and I have yet to discover the method by which it may be silenced. That's why I told you to leave it alone. Fiddling with things you don't understand usually ends with something broken. Nothing good comes of it, I tell you. But Mentor, Lady Moses instructed me that at every moment in event, clues are hidden under the veil of one's surroundings and must be examined with care. Yes, and that only works if you're savvy about the knack. Hang on, did you say Mentor? Ah, I had not yet been offered a proper opportunity to introduce him to you. This here is the esteemed leader of the Blade lineage, who is all but a master under whom I have apprenticed. Do you really have to dress it up like that? I told you I only took on the role because there wasn't anyone around to take the job. Switch, where's the switch? Ah, gotcha! Goodness. Known as Bamboo Hatted Kim. Yes, that's me. Guess it's a pleasure to meet you, folks. Incredible. So, that's, yeah, fair enough. Okay, so, more often than not, first impressions are prone to change. The Bamboo Hatted Kim I remember was a man who drowned in his own fathoms, blaming himself for his powerlessness with a listless, heavy voice. That, however, had been whilst he was distorted and sunken into himself, so I figured his original personality might be somewhat different. But this is not just somewhat. His personality isn't even the same ballpark as my expectations. You're telling me this guy here is Bamboo Hatted Kim? Yep. We double-checked with Ezra and she said he really is the same guy. Whoa, that fire in your head's not hot at all? Fascinating stuff. Can we check again just in case? I really can't wrap my head around the fact that he's this sullen, serious man who would have thought, just look what he's doing. He's rubbing my face all over like he's checking out some kind of mantelpiece ornament. Lots of ticking and talking going on. It's supposed to sound like them talking to you folks, huh? Further confirmation would be redundant, Dante. This individual is conclusively identical to the one designated as Bamboo Hatted Kim. I've got no idea what you folks are so suspicious about. I can do just what exactly I've been telling people out there about me. They're all staring like they've seen a ghost. I told them you're a gallant and formidable warrior, mentor. But they don't look like they've heard the most flattering things about me. There, don't you hear it? The faint undercurrent of disappointment in the ticking. I also told them you're a man of few words, but with much affection for the followers under your command. I can do. Yes, Mentor? It's a complete and utter lie. Man of few words is definitely not something you can say about a guy who's as talkative as me, don't you think? Yet I spoke no falsehood. Although your conduct is rather shallow and perhaps less refined for a leader of an organization, you're much more reserved and taciturn when conversing with those unfamiliar to you, are you not? No matter who one may be, one is bound to inspire either approval or disapproval from those around him, so I refrained from mentioning any truths that might invite the latter. To even hint at anything that might tarnish the reputation of my master would be not unlike spitting on his name, and mine by extension. I simply had no reason to put airs on in front of my own folks. In any case, can't you see if I blocked this part, Do tell, how many fingers am I holding up? Those are not my eyes, you know. Your own folks, huh? Then you've already acknowledged and accepted that you now belong to the Limbus Company. Why didst thou not pay a visit to the LCE? Verily, when one's mind is plagued by the absence of tranquility, for venturing forth into the open air and touchable field of the grass cleareth the storm of the heart. An asset of the company is expected to act in the company's interests. Yet for whatever reason I didn't see you fighting on the field during Operation Spider-Pie. You'll have to account for your absence in the mission. I was to arrest Kim as though she were conducting a formal investigation, every word flat and hard. It was obvious she was not about to let her guard down anytime soon. What happened to the camera? It's very warm, so I'm leaving the camera off because I look like an absolute mess. What mission? Oh, that one. Kim finally seemed inclined to assume a more serious disposition. He stopped peering into my face and turned toward Otis, although his hand was still on my head. Alright, clearly there's some disconnect in expectations here. Listen here, you. I'm not really about that hard, bothersome work. Get what I mean? The real disconnect was between his stoic expression and the words coming out of his mouth. What? Let's talk about the kind of fellow I am. Meet the resident layabout, who forced to do his job with a frown. With a frown, too, I might add. Only when he's got absolutely no other choice. I'm really not some big shot Engdu who's apparently been promoting me as, folks. I'd very much like to stop getting roped into stuff that keeps putting my life on the line. Fine, then why'd you join the LCD in the first place where I'd be unemployed? No, never mind, they'd probably force you to say. You catch on quick. First they sparked this nonsense about distortions and all, and they force-hired me, calling it a company-owned resource, or whatever. And the other day they were on about, what's his name, Golden Bow? Yes, they invited me on a tour to another department to listen on some important presentation. And I accepted. I thought it would be a fine opportunity to broaden my perspective. Engdu, dear, there are times when your commitment to duty shines brighter than the sun. I find that attitude so dazzling that I have to squint when I'm looking at you. Who knows? Maybe that's why I'm wearing this bamboo hat, to shade my eyes from your utter brilliance. Do you mean to say you're in need of a shield to protect your eyes? Lady Ezra, might I submit for a pair of sunglasses from my mentor? If it's not too much of an imposition on the budget, that is. That right there. That's what I keep telling you not to do. You can't just say yes to every silly thing he says and turn it into a supply request. Small expenses add up, you know. You gotta save up everything you can in the piggy bank, you still can, or you'll end up broke. Is there truly no room for reconsideration? No means no. Then pray make the purchase for me. I should cover the cost myself. No, can't it? Wait, what? My poor mentor is in a state of great discomfort, yet I possess neither the wisdom nor the knowledge to navigate the silver-tongued merchants in the maze of stores to locate the very best item. So I must beg this favour of you. There is no limit to the glaze, yeah. You give me a freaking headache, girl. I am aware that you and yours are no strangers to such dealings. There is no one I can trust to complete such a procurement with the swiftness of the wind. You know what? Never mind what I said. I'll just get you what you want. You heard the gentle lady, Mentor. Your suffering shall soon be alleviated. Right. My apologies for interrupting you in mid-conversation. Pray continue. You had reached the part where they invited you to a tour another department. No sooner, Angdu's words left her lips than her eyes glinted with something I couldn't really put my finger on. It was a strange intensity that sent a chill down my spine. Yeah. It's that day I was just gonna relax here and watch some TV. Well, good on you for showing up to work today, I guess. Let's just say there's a debt to be repaid. At least you understood that we were indeed indebted to the company. Yeah, I suppose I do. Kim's gaze lingered on Engdu's prosthetic arms as he answered. Oh, Miss Engdu, your arms. Almost following Kim's gaze, did Sinclair seem to notice Engdu's brand new prosthetic arms. Oh, Miss Engdu, your arms. One moment. Your arms, Miss Engdu. They're awfully prosthetic, don't you think? Fuck, it didn't load properly. They're awfully prosthetic, Miss Engdu. Anyway. Only after following Kim's... yeah, anyway. The last time we saw her, Engdu had lost both her arms, and I remember Ezra asking her to sit tight and choose what type of prosthesis she wanted. Those arms are probably it. It's not just the arms, even her clothes are different now. That sword. Had these arms fit in you as soon as the operation had concluded. The gracious host and one of the LCD's teams had prepared them in advance. With evident satisfaction, Engdu held up a dark metallic wrist as if to showcase them. The components fixed along her arm clicked and rattled, unfolding for a moment before neatly folding back into place. Oh, such graceful smoothness, wed to machine articulation. 'Tis though I'm beholding the marvellous prosthesis of the illustrious Siegfried himself. Yep, the showcase would have gone lackluster without that trademark reaction. There's a strikingly similar to Schwartz Industries N7 lineup, but I thought that model was discontinued. Nah, not theirs. It's one of the prototypes developed by the LCD's Phenomena Deciphering team, and they put them on it for trial. Not gonna lie, it feels very odd not seeing the live Coops reaction. You're hearing the live Coops reaction. It's close. Doubt you find another like them. They're based on technology spun from distortions. Oh, I see. For a brief moment, Sinclair's eyes lit up a glimpse of something that brought him to a memory. Then just as quickly, he fell silent. Whatever he wanted to say next, catching in his chest. I mean, like, hold on. Chat, I can put on the camera just to show you what I'm not showing. Like, hold on. One moment. Like, yeah, hello. This is the reason why I'm not doing it. It's because I'm in a tank top right now, because it's fucking miserably warm here. That's it. That's the sole reason. I mean, like, I could stream like this. My hair's also a bit of a mess at the moment, and I don't have any of the lights on because it's miserably warm. What? Right, okay. What's wrong with a tank top? I mean, it's just different to what I normally wear. Also, yeah, my hair being weird again. It's so weird seeing you in a tank top. Well, it's because I normally wear, like, long-sleeve shirts. Also, don't mind, there's a bit of a mess in the background because I didn't... You know what? I'll leave the camera on it. It's fine. This is reasonable enough. Sinclair is remembering racism. So true. Yeah. Just put a suit PNG over this. Wouldn't quite fit. Anyway. Does something trouble you, Master Sinclair? It wasn't hard to understand what struck the tender memory for Sinclair, and why it cast a shadow over his face. But, sorry, just reminded me of something from a long time ago. My dad used to work with prosthetics before he passed away. I thought this was the exact same model I saw back then. It appears I lacked tact. These arms have stirred a painful memory within you. For that I apologize. It's alright, I'm fine now. Sinclair's voice still carried a faint tremor, but beneath it there was a firmness that had not been there before. He'd really grown a great deal. You can thank yours truly for picking the sword. I was there with her. I didn't inform Lady Ezra that any blade could serve as a weapon would suffice, but she insisted on browsing the goods. I dare say I was given the opportunity to lay my eyes on every type of sword I could ever hope to see in this life, walking through the workshop street that day. Oh please, girl, we just walked for 4 hours, that's nothing. While everyone was distracted taking Angdu's new outfit and equipment, Kim had quietly slipped away from the crowd and crouched down in a corner. He was rummaging through things scattered on the floor, picking them up. Is he pocketing them? Anyway, what's this place supposed to be? What are all these things? It's basically a wreck now, but there are strobes and that cloth backdrop over there. Maybe it used to be a photo studio? Oh, that could explain why there are so many photos stuck around the place. Probably? This thing definitely looks like a camera, at least. Sinclair picked up a small cylindrical object and turned it over in his hand, studying it with curiosity. What do you suppose this is? A battery, maybe? Ah, there's some kind of strip inside. Let me just pull it out. No, that's... I just shuddered a sharp warning at Sinclair as if she had realized something. But So's hand shot out before he could finish, clasping over Sinclair's wrist before the strip could be pulled out. What did I do? Exposure to sunlight damages these objects. I already pulled it about, though. They can be rewound. Carefully rotate the ridge section on the cylinder. I'm currently blocking the sunlight from reaching the exposed section. Damage is of no concern. Oh, okay, you mean this one, right? This is the part that rotates? Yep, it went back in. With a quiet nod, Maso took the object from Sinclair's hand. It seems to be a film roll. There's something written on the outside. Experiment 4? It appears to be a compact roll for a film camera. You seem to have handled one before. Yes. Maso's answer came without further explanation, but the way he adjusted the camera on the table certainly didn't look like that of a first-timer. I'm assuming that's going to be Today I Shot Mother. As in, shot with a camera. I once received a report containing photographs taken on film cameras during the war. Film rolls used by Incorp are particularly difficult to falsify. They're often used to collect intelligence during secret operations. The film fixes light directly onto the medium, from what I've heard. A peculiar expression flashed across Ezra's face as she regarded Otis. Perhaps it was the mention of war that caught her attention. Anyway, we've managed to recoup in one piece. Let's come up with a plan to deal with these distortions, guys. Where shall we begin? Then, in the next breath, she returned to her usual bubbly self and steered the conversation away from the subject. Both Ezra and I we're both still trying to be free of the misconception we inflicted on ourselves. For all unfailing perky disposition, Ezra, too, may be carrying traumatic memories every bit as devastating as Gregor's. Does there yet remain aught deserving illumination? Yeah, wait, you're right. Haven't we cleaned up the distortion already? I couldn't feel any more traces of distortions nearby, and it didn't seem like any of the other Sinner teams elsewhere are actively engaged in battle at the moment either. Dante is asking whether distortion suppression has not, in fact, already been concluded. Oh, not yet. These people we fought just now, they only got caught up in the distortion. They didn't actually distort themselves. We haven't even gotten close to the distortion's inflection point yet. Inflection point? Anywho. Finding an inflection point without the team leader around is going to take some more time. Maybe it won't be too bad with your help. Ezra swept her eyes around the room with a look of frustration, as though she'd just been handed a puzzle box with half the pieces missing. I'm fairly certain that said inflection. Yeah, inflection. As in the point at which something turns, I believe. I think that's what an inflection point is. 1 minute. Ezra swept her eyes around the room with a look of frustration as she'd been handed a puzzle box. Yeah. By inflection point, you're referring to the point on the graph in which the directionality of its curvature changes. Yeah, an inflection point. Calling to mind the present context, it may be less than a mathematical term and more a specialized Holocene, referring to the point at which distortion occurs, the motive, intent, or indeed the point in which inflection of the mind occurs. Yep, that's about right. That's the kind of inflection point I was talking about. So in our department, we use that term to mean the source of a distortion, the inflector or cause behind it. Stuff like that. You know, distortion's hard to treat if you don't know the core cause. Treat the symptoms you see on the surface all you like, but if you never find the root cause, the distortion's never getting solved. See, I personally like taking the ruiner approach. Beat the shit out of them. Worked well enough for the library, you know? I guess, you know, it's never really had to look for that kind of stuff, huh? Your boss clock opens the door to their fathoms, or whatever, right? You mean Dungeons of the Fathoms? Yep, that's the one. From where we stand, distortions are really high maintenance, time-consuming headaches. It's one thing to somehow manage to locate the inflection point, but curing it is another thing. But you guys can just march straight into someone's heart, knock the snot out of everything in there, and then ta-da! Patient ready for discharge. That's how it works, right? I'm not gonna lie, I was so jealous when I heard about it. I almost bit my sleeve off. What do you mean you almost bit your sleeve off? In what world is that a normal reaction? The distortions also didn't understand in the library, but they were taken care of, and that's all that matters. Vera, I thought your team would set about resolving distortions when the foe is vanquished, as we are wont to do. Was that not so? Of course not. Why don't you come with a distortion suppression request if it's that simple in the first place? But yeah, most of the time peeps try brute force approaches to it first, and when things go south, they send requests to the company or to our detective's office. That means the client this time must have been bingo. Apparently residents of Butter Street had all chipped in to commission all kinds of agencies like the ZY and the combat specialized fixer officers, but none of them could actually do things right, and the job got passed to us. Meaning the distortion phenomenon rate of this kind of photograph is still occurring unchecked somewhere on the streets. Exactly. That's why we gotta find something. Anything that might count as a clue. Ezra was just hungry? Evidently so, yeah. Ezra gazed down at the people lying on the floor with a complicated expression. Neat ash grey suits and the logo on the collar of the uniform and briefcases. Hey, isn't that NCORP's logo? Come to think of it, wasn't Maso... I was once employed by NCORP. Why, you used to work with these people? Yeah, you did mention you used to work at NCORP. Maybe you can offer us some insight. Do you know who these guys are, Maso? Yes, manager. These are NCORP Class 2 staff members. Given the camera briefcase in their possession, they are likely members of the pinframe team as service to Cloud. Maso recited the information, so pulling it from a file he'd already sorted and placed in the back of the shelf in his mind. Okay, pinframe team, huh? Anything you can tell us about it? Yes. This is one of NCORP's many field departments related to information gathering and processing. Their primary duties include the handling of NCORP's internal information, analysis of NCORP's internal intelligence, the sorting and arranging of NCORP's internal information, and intersector. That'd be enough. Whoa, is he talking encyclopedia or something? Yes, he's autistic. Yeah, another thing to be jealous of. You think it'd be okay if we borrow him sometimes? Might be an issue for us if you just went and borrowed our team's encyclopedia. Looks like everyone agrees that he's an encyclopedia. Anyway, our encyclopedia is right. That's a lot of times to say encyclopedia back to back. They're from NCORP's pinframe team. Seen him a few times before in NCORP's nest. But why would people already busy enough dealing with nest affairs come all the way out to a shabby back streets like this? Got any guesses? I'm unable to determine that. Yeah. But the possible range of connection between the two pieces of information is exceedingly broad. Listing every relevant reason as to why they might come here would require a considerable amount of time. Posture check? Okay. There we are. Thank you. Vesper's fat ass keeps stealing her food. Therefore, I will not present a determinative answer to that question. Ezra, staring holes into me while unspoken, is this dude always like this? Wouldn't pull any answers from me, you know. Because aside from combat situations, I've still got no way to figure out what's going on inside his head. Okay then, Maso, maybe this will be an easier answer, from an objective point of view. And that was when I noticed something I'd never imagined would happen. Maso's eyes widened, his gaze fixing me with such a force I could almost feel the faint tremor in it. A leveling stare that came with, there is no such thing as an objective point of view. Manager. A clipped tone and look almost bordering on rebuke. A given judgment may seem infinitely close to objectivity, but ultimately, all things are subjective, without exception. No, they're objective. Any a priori information can be known objectively because a priori information is not based on any subjective views of the world. Saying 2 + 2 = 4 is an objective statement based on a priori understanding of mathematics. To say green is green, it's a tautology, but it is true a priori knowledge and therefore is an objective statement. Can a tautology be counted as a judgment? that is debatable. But he's wrong. You can have objective statements. Announcement posture check. Right? I fell silent for a moment, lost in thought. Part of it was because Masso's reaction caught me off guard, but I also wondered whether the response might be connected to why he always refused to make judgments for himself. And if that's something to do with his turn, which I know is just around the corner. Got it. Then tell me 3 subjective reasons you think are most likely for why these people had to come all the way into the back streets. I need to understand who he actually is as much as I can. Because I'll never want to get another chance to really get to know him if I brush this off with a simple, "Oh, I see, my bad," as usual. Yes, manager. I would presume the mission was one of the following: retrieval of video recording or recordings in violation of NCORP's taboo, prompt elimination of the violator, contact with an informant in the backstreets collaborating with NCORP's nest, or identification and arrest of a wanted individual or individuals designated by the nest. Green is a bad example because color does not exist objectively. Well, no, color exists subjectively. The property of green holds all the properties of green, but determining what those properties of green are is different. That's, yeah. So green is green. A green object is green as a tautology. It is a priori. You can know without observation of the object that if a green object is green, that green object is green. You don't need any sensory experience to confirm that tautology. So, yeah. Taboo. You mean these people could be taboo hunters? Nah, no way. They don't send out taboo hunters for every single violation, you know. Like, wings usually leave minor taboos violation to be handled by subcontractor fixed officers or employees of the department in charge. I'd say these guys here are NCORP staff. Missing to, what are you looking for in their pockets? Color does not exist for individuals. No. The relational property of color still exists independent within the object. It's just the way that color is perceived is different. There is a difference between perception and a property. A round table viewed from a different angle would not appear round, but the table still has the property of being round. It simply has the relational property of when you observe it from a given point, it looks different. Yes, I am arguing from a realist point of view. If any of you try and come into chat and argue idealist point of views, I will find you. I am looking through their belongings for enlightening clues yet hidden in the sleeve or fold of their garments. Lady Moses has been gifted with the art of discerning the truth from what lies before her with such a single glance, yet my eyes are foreign to such a feat. Let me take a look too. This is an employee card, and okay, this one's a wallet, so let's put that back. We don't want to be robbers. Ah, this might be it. It's an order missive. Hello, Strike the White. It's going good. We're just reading this so far. As reported, sheet of paper out from an NCORP staff code and read its contents aloud. Work details. Elimination of individual of Category 3 taboo violation. Address, Butter Street. This is the place. Which means all of this might be pointing to something. Whoever used to work in the studio and the distortion phenomenon might be connected. Yeah. Now they mention it, when that whole pop and change thing happened, it did kind of feel like a camera flash. Alright, let's start by coming to this place. Let me know if you find anything suspicious. Oh, at long last hath the hour arrived for my debut as a detective, forsooth! Dunkiota must have been miffed for not getting to play detective back in T-Corp. No idea why she'd been keeping them, but she immediately pulled out the detective props that had been given to Rodeo, Ryoshi, and Honglu back then. Verily, I'd foreseen that day would come. Fortunately, I just wasted no time putting an end to Don Quixote's badly timed shenanigan. A sharp dressing down from her was enough to make a dejected, chivalric adventurer stuff the costume away. Okay then, we should get moving too. That's not ideal. Incredible. Misconceptions. Right. Who do I have? Can I run an MV team with this? No, I'm missing the main parts of an MV team. Can I run a bleed team? I'm kind of missing them. I'm not really missing the main members of a bleed team. This is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we are. That works. You're not really a... I mean, you kind of are a bleed team member. You do inflict bleed, I think. Yeah, you inflict bleed. Welcome to the bleed team. Right, here we are. We spent a long while rifling through the photo stuff with the LCD team, but no one found any decisive evidence. There sure are a lot of photos around, but almost all of them are just pictures of buildings. Nothing much to tell from that. Aside from the canister containing the film roll Sinclair picked up, there are no remaining items here that can count as a proper clue, Executive Manager. I've found that the rest are all empty plastic containers. It's probably best to check the contents of the film roll directly. Yes, Executive Manager. I'll find a way to develop the film. Did you guys find any sort of photo development room or equipment nearby? Let's search a little more before we see what's in that film roll. Mentor, what'd you make of this object? For the 8th time, Engdu, I have no idea. If I had wit spread enough to understand all that lies before me with a single glance like a team leader, I would have passed the royal examinations long ago and secured myself a lucrative position as a court official. But Mentor, hadn't you already passed the royal? Once swung, a sword does not retrace its arc, Engdu. So it is with life. There is no undoing what has already been cut. Thus, it is necessary to dwell on what can no longer be undone. There is no after for what has been slashed away. Not for you, Mentor. Or do you not dwell on what can no longer be undone? I misspoke. I don't mean it that way, Engdu. I merely meant to say that I do not wish to recall my past. I am aware. You told me such long ago whenever you were placed in a position to retrace the past. Most at the Eries when you filled your belly on unpaid tabs, and each time you brought down the stone wall before our house by your own erring hand. Those are exactly the kinds of things you should never forget. Ugh, ow, my belly. I feel a stabbing pain in my belly. This spot, oh, the very wound you once gave me afflicts me yet. The one from when you thought you were only poking me with a scabbard, yet by some cruel turn it was your sword that ran me through. Mentor, you said it was completely healed and I need not concern myself with it. Those very same words have been repeated at least 80 times. This still aches every now and again, chiefly when I hear your sharp, cutting words that I really don't want to hear. Ah, is that so? Engdu suddenly pulled a sheet of paper and began furiously writing something down. What is this? I've written down the words I've just said. If hearing my sharp and cutting words afflicts you so, then perhaps reading them would instead cause no suffering. Kim's face began to contort like a wet dish towel being wrung dry. I really can't believe this is the same mentor Engdu follows so devotedly. What's that dignity and forbearance Engdu said he had? Young Engdu, doesn't matter, I asked thee. Why is that? What the fuck? What is that poll? Why am I on that list? We're not. No, we're not doing that. How do I? Okay, the poll had already stopped. Brilliant. Okay, apparently I was the only one who felt that way around him. Christ, speak freely. This may perhaps be a discourteous inquiry, but I too, when speaking to others, though most serve, often all my words with laudation of accepted degree, and yet. I understand your concern, Lady Don Quixote. Figuring out how it works, I see. Bleed team and the thumb quartets. I don't have any thumb IDs. I have Rhodia. This was the first time seeing Mentor with his soldier so embraced and his bearing so loose. In truth, when I first beheld him, I also wondered whether such a man could truly be a leader worth placing my faith in. However, upon my honour, I assure that I've never once uttered a falsehood when I spoke of him to you. My respect towards the blade of my own and foes alike, my determination to safeguard what must be protected, even should my arms be torn apart. All of these are, undoubtedly, the teachings that my mentor has imparted onto me. Truly? Why, if fortune should grant the opportunity, you may witness Mentor's true self yourself someday. That is to say, if we let ourselves be carried by the currents of the river to arrive at such a chance. Engdu gave her arm a casual sweep, smiling sincerely as though she truly believed every word she said. Then leaning closer to Don Quixote, she whispered, Besides, unless I speak with his feigned, stern ignorance, there will be no end to his digging in heels. I would ask for your trust. For all is aimed at his benefit. Forsooth, thou too hast been burdened with the trials of serving a superior. So that's what it was. I get it now. Just as I witnessed the budding of this peculiar bond of commiseration and camaraderie between our chivalric friends, the door leading to outside was flung open with a loud slam. We've arrived at the target destination. It appears the advance party has already been defeated. Wait, who are these people? Didn't they say there was only a single violator? Oh, crap. Looks like it's too late to talk our way out of this, whatever excuses we come up with. Hello, Piggy, hello. So, oh boy, this is not going to go well. How's the heat treating me? You can see from the attire I've got on at the moment, not well. Not very well at all. Same thing happened last time, when I saw the NCOP employees. I thought we had the wrong intel, and all of a sudden... Oh, a sudden flash blinded my vision white. And so I stared right into the burst of searing light, so intense and bright that it made my head swim. Yeah, it's the same pop, and with my vision blinded, the only thing I could make out was Ezra's soft murmur, until even that came to stop as their breathing hushed. Oh. It didn't take long for me to realise what was happening. Seeing it again doesn't really warm the heart, wouldn't you say, Engdu? Though escort main D be passing through our times, the Sally was not quite so wretched in form, was it, Mentor? Is that right? Looks much the same to me. Ah, this place. Did we just get teleported to escort? No, Dante. No, it generates considerable sense of verisimilitude. This is... I think I know what it is. This is a presence I haven't been able to detect until now, but somehow is surrounding us, saturating every corner of the space we just stood. The dreary stone walls, trees bent and coiled in grotesque forms, the sheen of light and even the air we breathe, all of them point towards a single phenomenon. This is the depth of the fathoms made entirely out of distortion. They're completely different distortions of the Incorp employees were just a moment ago. Said manager, this is exactly it. This is what I was trying to explain. That's weird. Where Ezra pointed, the people in smart, neat suits have vanished. In their place, figures clad in blood-stained dopo robes are approaching us with dragging, uneasy steps. Right. Let's fight first and talk later. Ready, Angdu? My blade is poised to strike, Lady Ezra. And wait, where's Bamboo-Hatted dude? I'm afraid he has already taken his leave. He said he had no desires to crossplay with the Kokens of Escort twice. Come on, man, not again. He's a repeat offender, that's for certain. Executive Manager. Wherever Kin's gone off to, this definitely isn't time to be asking trivial questions. Right, let's do what Ezra says and get ready for battle. On your orders, Executive Manager. Men, prepare for battle. I think it's so weird. It's so weird to see that because there's no realism normally. Like, seeing actual human teeth is unsettling. Anyway, I understand they're saying this is a focused encounter, but this probably isn't going to really be a focused encounter, is it? So much as me beating the shit out of them. Because these are good IDs, and they have 200 HP total. Unless they've all got unbreakable coins that I should probably look at. Wow, you can hit nothing. Ready to read a novel and Angdu's passive and effects? Oh, she has a novel to her? What? Okay, yeah, you lost the clash, I see. Why is Sinclair? He's a bleed ID. Look, he inflicts bleed. Enemies also have some rating. I'll go do them all. Go through them all now. One moment. Head-splitting memory. Interesting. I wonder if that's because they're a KK ID. Princess exists. Princess Sinclair. You understand there's limited IDs for this fight. Look, I don't know about you, but I don't believe there's a Princess Sinclair ID just yet. Yeah, what do you have? On the outside, it looks no different from procedures you might find in nests or other back streets, but apparently, this procedure of prosthetic limbs has been created in technology unique to Olympus Company. It said that the is done with power distortions. We were told that it has distortions. You have any more things for me to read? No. And what do you have? Anything important? Nothing there. On Clash Blues, oh, they get that on Clash. To cover the eyes is not to be blind. These fabrics created using Q-Corp Singularity are fashioned in many forms. Such blindfolds and headbands are commonly used throughout the East. It's not usually fixed in employees of corporate entities, covering their heads and faces with these products. The fabrics have the same function as sunglasses, visors, and combat prosthetics. Eyes fell surface around the city. They scan the target information in real time, augment the wearer's vision, and provide tactile analysis. At times, they can also serve as a means of communication with distant allies. Interesting. I mean, I don't have the other main member of the KK duo, so I can't really do that. But still. Princess Sinclair is goated, bro? Ah, of course, of course. Oh, the update logs. Ah, yeah, I'll check them now. Super paralyzed is the effect they can inflict, but outside of a solo, you will never see that. Yeah, that's fair. There's actually a Black Silence Sinclair ID? I must not have gotten that yet. I should pull for that. Why have I been pinged? Who have I been pinged by? I have been pinged in the Thumb Discord. I see. Don't read, win? So true. Why read in my video game? Hey, I love reuses. Reuses are always fun. There is... Oh, hey, Ezra. Yeah, you're dead, aren't you? Why are you both using defensive... They're using defenses against the staggered person. They're staggered. What damage are you afraid they're gonna do? Oh no, scary. They might, I don't know, wake up and start moving? Unless I've been horribly misinformed about how staggered enemies works, that isn't going to happen. +1 assist defense. Yes, that is why I am leaving one of the people free so that the assist defense can be taken. Hello, Apocalypse Birds, welcome. No reuse, damn. I guess it's, the question is, I guess they both do assist defense, I'm not sure. Right. Well, we do it again. Hey, don't you like my, Envy-Res team, chat? It's a good Envy-Res team, right? Right. Wow. That should definitely be enough to kill, right? No, I get the next guy will do it. I recommend the new Honglu is a very interesting unit. Interesting. Okay then. Such a good team. Yeah, it's an amazing bleed team. Ignore that it's missing like the two main IDs in a bleed team. It has Ringlu, so it's got like the third most important member of a bleed team. It just doesn't have, you know, KK Heathcliff or whatchamacallit. KK Heathcliff or Callisto Honglu. You know, ignoring the two most important members of a bleed team, they have everything. You've got to be kidding. You've got to be kidding me. Why do they keep just rolling heads? They're at 12 SP. For what reason? KK Heath's application actually gets done by the new Honglu ID. Yeah, unfortunately for them, Callisto Honglu, like, it doesn't matter how good your bleed application is, if you're trying to combat, yeah, Callisto Honglu, you're not winning that fight. That's not a fight you're winning. And full stop slash lord, yeah, they don't have a place. It's a bit of a case of Deviate Sinclair. Except Deviate Sinclair also just sucked. But there wasn't a position for him at the time. Because, you know, opportunity cost and all. One moment. Okay. Chicken also has poise, whereas Callisto doesn't, has unique charge instead. Yes. So instead of having an interesting archetype that's... I mean, like... if we're talking for MD, charge has better gifts than poise, I believe. I may be wrong there. Vagary Dangdu's effects? Oh, wait. I forgot to read the enemies. Oh well. Should be all of them. So yeah, measure light. Dangdu casts the blood from a sword with a few sharp flicks before sliding it into its sheath. I'll not change back. Doesn't look like beating up the distorted ones reverts them immediately this time around. Perhaps a fortunate turn of events in a way. Let's search for clues while time allows us. Right. You take that side, Dangdu. I'll search here. Ezra and Dangdu moved around as though they were used to this kind of situation. Without even taking a moment to catch the breath of the battle, they began searching the space. Prithee. Don Quixote was the first to voice a doubt in the surreal, unfamiliar situation we found ourselves in. We battled distortion upon our arrival hither, yet never before have we beheld our surroundings change with so sudden a flash. Prithee, I cannot make sense of this situation. Could thou render us a detailed account of this distortion phenomenon? Ah, apologies. It would appear I overlooked this briefing due to the urgency of this predicament. This is, according to the definition printed by Lady Moses, a location-type distortion. It's based... What is this? What the fuck? Why is there so much text? Huh? Jesus. Word creep. This is looks like the distortion appears pretty far along. Middle stage probably. They don't usually get this big, but this one here covering almost the entire street. Then there's people. Then Station got caught up in it, and our job right now is to get to the bottom of the phenomenon. What exactly gets people caught up and what happens to when they're in. Of course, we can't really rule out the possibility of a power distortion that's encroaching on the environment. Oh, by that I mean when a distortion bleeds into space around it and warps it. Oh man, I'm actually taking a liking to it. Talking like our team leader. Not off me, I guess. Ezra continued with a sheepish giggle. A sheepish giggle? What was that, sorry? I'm not going to look up the Ezra sheep meme. People know the Ezra sheep meme. We need more clues to help us locate the inflection point. Maybe we should examine these people over here too. With the call, Ezra detected our attention, rows of collapsed people around, all of them clad in dopo robes. The eyes are ominous, and these are the glyph emblazoned in the headbands. Chu bespeaks propulsion and pursuit. Marks some Shokens, functionaries charged with scouring and hunting runaway nobis. You hail from the homeland as we do. I'm unsurprised that you know of them. I could hardly fail to know, for I, too, was once enumerated once their quarry. Scientists and technicians were daily being disposed of their stations in Escorp, after all. So it was no idle tale. Scientists who ply their craft without fattening Escorp's coffers to seize forthwith and made nobbies of the corporation. Indeed, I count myself fortunate to have absconded with my friends before the brand of nobody could impress upon us. Otherwise, Nobi, the wretched appellation conferred upon people for their convenience and those of power, a vile practice and excuse to the power-mongering, nothing more. The so-called taboo hunters of Escorp operate by much the same anatomy. Does the breaching of taboo summon the hunter, or does the hunter first seize his prey, to thereafter frame the capture with invented transgression? If the pals so desire to chase a man down, to take possession of his very being, keep him caged, then you do in the decree that he should bear the lot of a Nobi, such as what Escorp has become today. My mentor, too, is one of the victims of that accursed practice. Think these people have been sent to capture your mentor or Yisang? Or me, perhaps, or none of us. You mean to say there may be conceptual forms of Chokens generated by distortion? There's a plausible conjecture. We're getting nowhere this clue hunting. With a heavy sigh, I just pressed her fingers against her brows of her head was starting to pound in frustration. To delve further into the matter, it is necessary to determine why Escorp and its Chokens have appeared as the motif for this phenomenon. Bah! Considering the course of events we've seen so far, it would stand to reason the distortion stains all nearby things with memories most foul. The presence of Shokin suggests possible correspondence to Yiseng's memories. Conversely, however, the absence of T-Corp's time collectors weakens that hypothesis. In which case, the most plausible theory is that this particular distortion could have stemmed from bamboo-headed Kim or Angdu's memories. Angdu furrowed her brow and fell into thought, as if she couldn't cast the full picture of the problem. I've seen a few distortions that so trauma affect their surroundings, but this one? I'm liking that pop of inspiration. Can't even guess at what the distortion wants either. Pop! The white flash of light suddenly drowned my vision again as Ezra clutched her head and cried out with annoyance. If only the team leader was here, cracking this would have been a piece of cake. And we're back. So this is why he kept asking whether they'd seen anything bursting with the pop. The Incorp employees must have rough too, getting dragged into distortions like this. And what else we're supposed to do? It was self-defense, they're about to attack us. As we find the root cause and taking care of it, we'll be the fastest way forward. Let's just do what we can for now. Okay, first we need to develop the film founder. We'll head into the nearest dark room and... Nah, actually, let's first drag that slippery hat-wearing cult back here and get him talking about the Chokens. That's probably our best bet. Every time we take a job, that slacker just slips off without telling anyone. As one part of me watched Ezra stamp her feet in frustration, I was also carefully following Heathcliff's team through the other part of my vision. I think you can help with that. Have you located him? What? Boss Clock found something? Yep, I found what Bamboo Kim is right now. Bah, flashbang! Peak outfit design? Oh, Angdu's, yeah. Pretty good, pretty good. How did you deal the most damage? I guess it's 341 isn't all that much damage in all fairness. I haven't pinged so many times. Meanwhile, Heathcliff team. Bloody hell, what's up with these gits? Showing up out of nowhere. Actually, no, but judging by the get-up, they seem like escort fellas, and things were going so well. We could have talked out with this Fedora guys who were rummaging around the place earlier, you know? But no, you just had to go barking them first. Would have saved us a lot of trouble if you hadn't, right? Oh, so it's my fault. Those bastards look like they're nicking stuff. This is a contract area, and if they walked off with something important, we'd be the ones catching hell. Listen, bud, not everyone's itching to swipe the hair coupons in the pockets in the seconds they get the chance. Oh, for how many bloody months are you not gonna milk that? Excuse me. Well, you got a problem too, mate? No, not at all. Just wondering that gentleman over there is also one of our enemies. Is that the end of your troop performance? Shame. I was really enjoying watching you folks dance. Might have mistaken this place for the Peach Blossom Land of Legends, had there been a cup of fine makgeolli to go with it. Makgeolli. So he's Korean then, because makgeolli is a specific type of rice wine that is Korean. Yeah, it's enemy, alright. Here's a name tag though, I think it says LCD. LCD or whatever, who gives a toss? I'm supposed to put up with every bastard having a dig at me? Oh dear. Such bold swings. Didn't know the song called that performance. Ha! You slippery little rat. Well, you find this amusing enough, but if you intend to play with me, you ought to be more aware of your surroundings. Hey, behind you, there's... Gasp. Oh, he took all those doper-wearing people just a single strike. I said about covers the price of admittance for your troop circus, wouldn't you? Well then, I'll leave the rest to you folks. Wandering blades and Murim tales never linger on the stage for long, after all. Wait, where the hell do you think you're going? Ah, damn it. S-Corp is Korea? Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense. Oh, wait, we're just using the same team? I was expecting we'd be able to change our team. Like, why am I... Oh, wait, were we able to... Sorry, hold on. Were we able to choose our team? Am I an idiot? Did I... Anyway. I might be an idiot. I'm an idiot. Damn it. You know what? Let's use this team. I feel like using them. So, the person we want to kill first... Well, you're gonna get killed last regardless, aren't you? I don't know what you give me. Oh, well, no, we want... You, 4, 5... 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. I think that works. Here we are. Then you got Valentina. Yeah, I did earlier on in the stream. Anyway, here we are. So in third, it goes from last first, right? So... do that, and then the rest of you do this. Well, I just guess I'm being told that I have to use those skills. One-sided coin rally, huh? I don't really need to use the evade, but still. Can you support ID Heathcliff? Oh, I could do that, couldn't I? That'd be clever. Maybe I could. For later fights, I'll do that. I really don't need it here. She will be good enough by herself. Okay. Who was the one in 7th? It was him, yeah, so after this attack he should get deleted from existence. Like so. There we are. So long. Next turn it'll be Rien and Matthias Otis. That's who's next. Which is a cool idea, honestly. I like the way she erases people. You gotta go? Ah, see. Good luck with whatever you gotta do. Right. I get one stamp of vengeance off before she goes. Oh no, wait, actually, if he dies here, that's perfect for me. Kill him, kill him, kill him. Ah. Damn. Oh well. It wasn't going to decide to wait for Whelp instead of wasting all my pulls. That's fair. What's your opinion on this OST? It's cool. I like it. It's a good OST. Haven't had much of a chance to listen to it, but I do like it. It's cool. And bye-bye. I love wiping people from existence. It's great fun. Okay. So now she should have an extra skill slot, right? I believe. Because I've killed 3 people. Well then. Yeah, she does. Wonderful. Okay, you use that against you, use that against you. Now you lot go. Even though it doesn't really make a difference, you're dead regardless. Right. So put Heath in my company, everyone friends on lips? I believe we are. I believe we are. Okay. 99, so we've got max damage from that now. 23 is absurd. Like, yeah, she just gets to do that. Just for free. Yeah. Wait. Is she gonna evade that? Oh, yeah, she is. That is sort of her entire gimmick. Yeah. Why did she not get erased? I did evade, right? Wait, huh? Why the delay? Oh, well, not uh-oh. That's uh-oh for them. This is good for me. So long. What an ID. Oh. Hello there. Do I have to fight the real people now? Investigation order. Inflicted intelligence gathering. That's nice and all. Let me get back to me in a moment. I'll use that skill next up. That's a cool thing you're doing. Unfortunately for you, I happen to have something else I'm doing here, called getting a bunch of powerful buffs. So it doesn't really matter how much damage you do. Becomes active till other actions are there. Okay, interesting. One down. 20 on a skill 1. Yeah, that's... I should be able to do that. No, you're right. I do deserve to deal that much damage. Yeah, can you quickly just get destroyed by that counter? Aw, I was hoping that would deal more damage. It's so long. You're not going to get erased. It's, her turn next, yeah. And bye-bye. Oh, the damage player under Raishi more? Yeah, she is bonkers. And then she just never loses her evade. Like, she basically is just immortal. Am I going to get the Ren Space Echo Shear off? I might as well pop it now. Why not? You get to survive Ren only by the fact that there's... Like, everybody else is dead too quickly for me to, like, pull it off on you. Watch this. Oh, don't kill them before the skill goes off. Come on. There we are. Oh, I only got to use 2 of my 5 coins. No, 7 coins? 2 of my 7 coins? How many does Ren Space Echo Shear get? And then we just erase you for the fun of it. It gets 7 coins, 1 per dead nurse father, so it would be 6 coins because it starts with 2, I believe. So be straight, this was just here a minute ago now. Nobody knows where he wandered off to. Yeah, bloke just turned out of nowhere, flapped his guns into a runner for it, and no one could grab him. Ezra let out a long list of sighs, though she getting sick and tired of even complaining about Kim. Lady Ezra, I can't say the frustration is misplaced, yet I trust you're also aware that more often than not, Mental's actions are carried of profound design. He has never left his post without purpose so far. No, I get it okay, but come on, would it kill him to give us a heads up before he goes zooming off on his own again? So I would stop him. What are you going to do? Tie him up? Lock him in a closet? We didn't do that in a team, right? Remember last time? We all thought he was going to be a good patient sleeping it off in the recovery ward, but nope. When the LC got infiltrated, he snuck out without even telling anyone and came back when nothing happened. And team leader didn't even chew him out for that. Lady Ezra, that's... Oopsie, I wasn't supposed to mention that, was I? And the reason he failed to participate in the operation was simply because the LCD was lax in supervising its personnel. Is that what you're suggesting? Lady Moses bade us hold our tongues for this very reason. She knew full well Mental's intentions would be misunderstood in precisely such manner. What part of this so misunderstood? Did you not just disclose that man understood his post-authorization? That's the thing, he wasn't just wandering around. He was outside all alone, taking down the ring order mannequins who had locked down the elevator that leads into the LCE department. Yeah, it's not like he was dealing with the strongest enemy out there, but the recovery ward didn't have an emergency alarm, and nobody from the department was there to warn him either. He somehow just caught on and did the job himself. Huh. That's all thanks to him that the facilities team managed to get the comms back up and contact the LCE chief dude faster that way, and that helped the LCA to actually deploy. They would have been delayed for another hour or two if he hadn't stepped in, apparently. And he went fighting even though he still wasn't fully recovered. so he came back looking like he'd been processed through a meat grinder. So yeah, he did end up staying in bed like a good patient, in a lot of pain. Posture check. Okay, thank you. Thank you. No, he's a less talking, more doing type of guy. Anyway, we're all stuck inside the building back then during the incident, so fine. I suppose there was no helping it. Today, though, never mind. It's always like this with him. He always slips away and pops back in saying, it's done. My point is, what happens if one day one of those solar missions doesn't go his way and he just drops dead in the street somewhere? How are we supposed to help him then? Actually, how does he even know what he's supposed to be doing in the first place when nobody gave him any instructions? Bloke's got to be relying on his gut feeling, innit? Gut feeling? Look, I only saw the bloke for a bit, so I can't say I got him all figured out. He's an annoying bastard, but he didn't strike me some clue so he doesn't know where he's stepping. Heathcliff scratched his chin, then kept talking as though he was stating an obvious fact. Today is proof enough. He's not one of us, so Clockhead couldn't have just reached out to him that far and sent him back up to back us up. And there's no way he just happened to run into us when we were about to get into battle, innit? Then, well, could be that bloke got some stupidly sharp head and pieced things together. Could be that. But I've got these moments when I get a flash of that gut feeling, however you want to call it. My boss man, Matthew, said he could hear that kind of shite too. Said I can hear them gears turning. Oh, I think I hear rats scurrying about. It'd do things you couldn't make heads or tails of. Listen, there was one time when expecting a life or death fight. Matthew says he can hear them gears turning, walks into a random pub, starts throwing back drinks like he's lost his bloody mind. That does sound like someone who's lost his bloody mind. Back when I was on the ship, some sailors used to drink the barrel drive before battling whales to blunt their fears, and only stumble around the deck and fall overboard. Yeah, and boss could knock it back like a whale. Still, the point is getting plastered right before a turf war is not what most sane people call a good idea. Had us all cross, so we went stopping on after him. And guess what? Turns out that pub was the secret hideout where the opposing syndicate was holed up. They're crowding around the gaffer, running their mouths about how to kill him and put it into the dead rabbits. That's when we come storming in and had them surrounded instead. Not a single one of them got away. We beat him bloody, every last bastard. And boss knew how to play out that way. Sorry, but this really sounds like Barstool bragging to me. You sure that wasn't just coincidence? I should think it was no mere chance. If you're saying as much, then sure this was one amongst such many coincidences. Is that not so? Yeah, every time Matthew pulled one of those stunts, our lot ended up growing bigger. Wouldn't have kept working so neatly if it were just a coincidence. It's likely what often referred to as indeed as an instinctive sense or experience-based precognition, more accurately unconscious process by which information accumulated in subconscious is sorted and converted into sensible conclusions. There have been some extremely rare cases in which Heathcliff has demonstrated the ability to arrive at coherent conclusions that even surprise even Faust. On further analysis, it would appear that he was employing a mechanism to a similar sixth sense, as some people call it. Is that a compliment? You've taken the piss out of me. No mentor does not see fit to explain each step he takes. When all is past, I often find that no footfall of his was taken in vain. I'd ask you to grant him but a little time and wait. Keep waiting, the shape of his intent may yet become clear. Authentic British live dubbing for Heathcliff. So true. So true. Though I confess, I've also been concerned of his late. His recent silence is far heavier than what I've noticed in the past. To wait. Katie began, hesitated, and stopped herself from saying more. She only gave a quiet nod. Yeah, okay. Suppose the team leaders their own reasons for letting him be. That said, doesn't mean I'm happy about it. Let's return to the task at hand and do what we can for now. Fine, fine. As the others quieted down, I finally had room to notice the place we find ourselves in. There was a single ray of light, just a deep red hue pressing in from every side. Can't believe we've been shutting away in the dark this whole time, fellas. The red lights aren't helping at all, especially with my age and eyes. Oh, you're looking for the light switch? It's right here. And right then, don't turn on the light. I heard Masso's clip warning, his voice coming from a corner I didn't expect to find. Masso, where are you? Ah, there he is. That corner, is he? Watching something? I'm developing the film roll manager. Exposure light might ruin the entire roll. Please exercise caution. So he's been doing his own thing. That explains why he's quiet all along. Huh. Didn't think you know how to print photographs, pal. What's that for, anyway? You expressed the wish to have the film development manager. I'm carrying out that instruction. I see. A photo studio first, now a darkroom. This may be no more than conjecture, but it would not be reasonable to suggest that the axe of distortion rests upon a photographer. The film's serial number either matches those found in the photo studio, or deviate by only a single digit. It is certain this darkroom is connected to the studio in some way. The images bear a striking resemblance to his photographs. I also believe this building and the photo studio share a strong connection. Oh? Where'd you get these photos? I brought some from the photo studio. I cannot name the location in the picture with certainty yet. They all appear to have taken at various places in Encorp's districts. Buildings, mostly. Hey, we don't know what these are. People take pictures like these when supplying stuff to that department store. Correct. These photos must have been taken by a docographer. Docographer. Masso chimed in, holding up an odd cylindrical container in his hand at the time. He gave the container a shake every now and again with a measured rhythm. Whatever he was doing seemed to be part of the process of developing the film. Film ROMs are hardly affordable for the average resident in Encorp. In most cases, taking photographs is done as part of professional duties. There are approximately 21 occupations in District 14 that utilize photography. However, only a single profession involves routinely photographing specific buildings, adhering to fixed standards that can be observed in these pictures. These docugraphers you mentioned, are the people entrusted with that job? I did the posture check. Alright, chap? Shouldn't each give a library ruiner. Did a challenge? Amazing. Yes, they photographed the information to be poured into canned experience. Docugrapher. How could a person of such decently equipped profession fall into distortion? Decent job, maybe, but how do you know they're a decent person? Ash replied with a clear-cut answer after only a brief pause. Decent profession doesn't mean you can't fall into distortion. That's not how distortion works. Like you said that. Photoshop didn't have any darkrooms, right? No, it didn't. My team lead said there are other ways of processing film rolls, but in Incorp you have to go to a darkroom to develop and print them. Correct. Film rolls are usually immersed and develop a solution to be processed. Which is why photo studios have these darkrooms equipped with red safe lights right next to them. But this place? It's pretty far from that photo studio. Huh, now that you mention it. Check out these windows, they're only covered by newspapers, all messy like. You can tell sensitive film rolls out of light. It's really suspicious that the darkroom doesn't have any proper blackout panels. You know films can cost a fortune in some place in the city, right? Who in their right mind would print photos in a room patched up with yesterday's newspaper? Oh, this probably isn't a legit darkroom. Someone just holding the bare minimum tools needed to develop film and threw them together in a hurry. Someone didn't want to be seen printing photos. People don't usually avoid scrutiny unless they're doing something not so decent. If that's the case, then I can see why they might have distorted. Right? Manager. Misso came to my side quietly. Still giving the strange cylinder the occasional shake. I have a request regarding your instruction to help develop this film roll. What is it? Please ensure the light in this room is not turned on until the development is complete. Aren't we already doing that? Yes, however engaging a battle opens the door to uncontrollable variables. This is why I've judged it necessary to make a separate request. Battle? There's no need of concern. I'm capable of pursuing combat while maintaining the development process. Wait, can you slow down? Battle, you say? Surely there must be a cause for you to believe so. At the photo studio, reinforcements arrived exactly 11 minutes and 34 seconds after Incorp's pinframe team staff were defeated. Deductions based on the events thus far make it clear the photo studio and this darkroom share some kind of connection. Furthermore, Senator Heathcliff, Senator Honglu, and Senator Gregor have battled Incorp's pinframe team in this very location. I hear footsteps rushing up the staircase, approaching closer and closer. I have a feeling I know what Messiah is getting at, but I ask anyway. Meaning? The initial rinse is finished. The process is now halfway to completion of the second rotation. This indicates that 11 minutes and 30 seconds have elapsed since the start of development. A battle is imminent. Please withdraw to a safe position, Manager. Messiah, you should have warned us way earlier. Understood, Manager. I'll follow that instruction going forward. Amazing. Right. 89% damage. Yeah, that checks out. Actually, that does check out. Right, I have sadly run out of time for today, but we will be back tomorrow at an earlier time, and I will finish the rest of the thing off. But yeah, thank you all for coming for the first back from a long break, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.